Okay, so today we'll talk about how to use reference to draw perspective, draw motorcycles. So let's see. For example, okay, this from Akira kind of. It was like a poster or cover for manga, not sure. Maybe just a poster. So I'm sure it's been used some reference for this one. So, and for you, like when you want to draw some kind of poster illustration or scene with the characters or motorcycles, it's always a good idea just to look for some examples. Just actually, it was like examples of like mood, style, composition, and like camera angle. So for example, here have this dude, then this some kind of random AI stuff, which kind of I think it's fine. Like sometimes to look this whatever trash images just as a sketch, which you can use like because the sketch idea of sketch is just some like suggestion. It give you some direction. So here it's kind of can be interesting suggestion for composition. So yeah, I will break it down. So let's see here. Так, let's say this one. Hello, Dorian. Так, hello, ape shape. Yeah, Dorian is like will be convenient if you when you mention some other artist or video, you just find name, write me name so I can Google or search on YouTube directly. Just kind of make it more useful information. Because if you already seen it, right, you can look for name. Так, so let's say here, right? Let's see what kind of perspective grid you can find. So, and kind of idea of this exercise, no, not exercise, like research, right? You're looking for compositions, you're looking for interesting ideas. When you extract perspective grid, sometimes it's unclear. Sometimes you don't have like 100% guarantee you making it right, and you cannot check because it's not 3D, it's a flat image. You cannot verify or check is your perspective grid is correct or not, and it's not important because like after all, it's like if you watch my tutorials about perspective grids, at least make sure you follow principles. So perspective grid itself is must be solid, must have its own follow its own logic structure, like this right, like principle of transition. So if you establish angle, so let's say let's make two different grid. So here we have like this, for example. So here we have like this angle, so it will be, we have like stronger convergence, right? Here it's kind of zero convergence. It's let's say it's for x-axis. Then I establish for z, maybe I find like the vanishing point, for example. So following this like principles of perspective grids, and here I make z like this, so it's horizon line and z, and now I build transition, and y, for example, both will be just vertical lines. Right, so you looking for reference, and sometimes it's super clear, sometimes you just guess. Yeah, good evening, AppShip. So here, what we can see, we look for shoulders. Let's me. So this guy's shoulders. And let's see, what's so small. And we have horizon line. Right, so we have horizon line, these shoulders and some on motorcycles kind of give you idea that it might be this angle for the axis. So we can then establish it, let's say like this. So these are the axis. So you don't need to verify it's like with every small detail, because like for example his body is also not absolutely symmetrical. It can be like no, you know, like he can rotate around himself. It's like, oh, here's like in the whole. So it's like his pelvis can be here, rib cage can be here. So it's kind of like complex form, right? Organic form. So also keep it in mind. Then we'll look for x-axis. So x-axis again, it's horizon line, and this line we can see very clear on the field. And then we have some, like here actually you see also motorcycle like diving in the mud. It's also kind of x-axis. So it's x. And why here it can be, you can make it 3-point perspective. It's kind of not critical here. You can make it like this. So then you put, to delete this from screen. Then you put it on some, here, erased. Okay. So if you do it as practice, you can do like me here. It's kind of like pages in Sketchbook when you make small thumbnail here with perspective grid. So can exaggerate here horizon line like that, y-axis like that. Because this kind of studies is like study visual language to make perspective kind of practical, not just some basic theory like where everybody's stuck, you know. Ну ja, так. Second. So here in my grid, this line, it's also, so it's y-axis, but also it's z-axis. It's kind of vertical and z-axis merge here, like we have z and x merge with horizon line. So, but anyway, after some practice, you're very easy and not confused here, because again, you see we just have two lines to track. Horizon line, z-axis, and now draw in between. Now again in between, so we have the axis in your perspective grid. So now let's put it here. What I also like in this kind of practice, it's not only exercise, it's also can be actual artwork when you like if you make it, especially your own photograph or your own like 3D scene for reference, then it will be like 100% your work. So you can practice perspective and also like make more artworks. So let's say now I put motorcycle here. This is like will be a half wheel underground. Holy diver. Dun, 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 dun. And also when you make this kind of approach, right, like which is only legit So instead of just redrawing, copying, you rebuilding, recreating kind of. When you use this approach, you have different work and result. So it's not exact copy. It's not like a mindlessly traced picture. So result is different, so make it kind of more as your original artwork. And the experience also is important because experience of drawing this way, it's almost like if you draw it completely from imagination, almost, yeah, it's kind of like little. You're using it as a kind of stick for walking, kind of wheelchair, but a lot of elements in this process is exactly same like if you will draw it from imagination. Because all these steps, perspective grid, composition, main shapes, main elements, so you're kind of thinking about what you draw. You place objects. So instead of just drawing lines and think about like what is their angle, how long these lines, right? You're here you think only abstract. Here you think like you're modeling something, like you really work with actual scene, actual objects, kind of like a directing. Так. This cats scratch my hands every time. You play with cat, he's smiling, cracking jokes, and after like bite and scratch. Always. Always. They're wild. Yeah. Yeah, both my cats, I have two cats. Both cats is like wild Taiwan cats. We just kind of save their lives. Because in Russia I always have wild cats at home. I don't like to buy animals. I think it's kind of weird concept. It's like animals better to live on the nature. But if you see they have like if they're from city environment, like some kind of stray cat, yeah, then you better take it home. But idea of this kind of market of animals, I think is kind of weird. I don't like it because everybody like buy some little cute animals, kind of. Sometimes they will drop them because they grow up And this my orange cat is like, yeah, it's like a little bear or bear, yeah, like really wild creature, very funny. Hello, real Chin. Yeah, yeah. That's also why I prefer cat to dogs in a house, cause yeah, I know dogs. They're very like to. They need to walk a lot, walk and run. Cats, they can like chill. Like cats more comfortable in an apartment, I think. And and I don't have time to walk dog outside. It's just like I don't like this idea, like walking dog all the time. And yeah, if I have like a big house with a yard, I will have dog too. In apartment, no, it will like barking in the house. It's kind of. I mean, I just like it's imagine like it's like I have horse in apartment. It's like definitely it's not healthy for horse to live in apartment. Oh, I will show you my orange cat. It's crazy. Where you go? Hey. Very heavy, very heavy cat. Oh. Say hello. Look, it's a Wolverine. A very danger. Yeah, like little fat, but also very muscular. Like really have a lot of muscle. No, it's she. It's a female cat. Cat reveal. That's why I say it's really like a mini bear. It's like if you watch this kind of like have different kind of panda, and they're like, yeah, really like a Wolverine. You know, this like a small kind of a small angry animal. I have Wolverine cat. Here what is clear, what is under. Anyway, this one is like footrest. Yeah, I've been like researching motorcycles so long, almost break my brain looking for engines. Because like I make this chapter in my book about motorcycle, chapter about engines, and it's crazy. It's like you're trying to find some main types, main structure, main elements, and it's like Godfather 2, no, 3. It's like you think you already find it all, but then it's more of it, and it's like once you think you finish this chapter, there is more engines. And I find all these like diesel engines, then I find like modifications, like how's this word, just forget word in a moment. It's weird. Anyway, there's like different modifications for like turbochargers, yeah, turbochargers and all that stuff. It's crazy. But very funny, kind of like. So now I also want to make chapter and tutorial um, explaining about all these turbochargers. So it's kind of like in your comic book, or let's say you want to make concept of motorcycle, you can take any motorcycle and turbocharge it. Like it's like turbochargers or other word also forget. Just so many terms. So I'm making this kind of book. I'm writing all this stuff, and I need to constantly remind myself all terms, because there is a lot. So you can modify engine, add all these pipes, chargers, and cooling system, make it super crazy cyberpunk. Because this is kind of like distinction between boring and average artwork and very cool professional artwork. This distinction is clarity, right? You might make it simple, but you need to know what are you drawing. So, and we see as like cool artwork, like really like stunning artwork, always will be clear. There always will be like clear about for artists like what he dealing with. And when we watch like average work, from my perspective, it's always main issue. It's just because it's too vogue. We can talk about like dynamics, like line quality or uh, gesture, whatever, right? But all this, I would say, um, they kind of, you will manage them for sure. It's kind of easy to, it's kind of like easy intuitive part, because if you're like in general enjoy to draw and you draw a lot, you will like intuitively uh, develop better shapes, better compositions. Like you will kind of get there just uh, naturally, kind of. But you can't naturally learn technique aspects. You cannot naturally like get understanding of a complex uh, constructions, kind of like what is made from, right? You need to kind of spend your time really like reading books or study it, disassemble it. And this is kind of what distinct professional artist from not professional artist. They harness this analytical aspect, kind of. They can be creative, impulsive, and very, very technical and disciplined. It's like watch all this Katsuhiro Otomo, Masamune Shiro. You see this combination of passion and um, meticulous kind of approach, right? When you like need to have this like concrete S, like passion and also assiduousness, kind of, right? So you need to sit and steadily break and analyze or proceed with certain steps. Okay, anyway. So now you see, like with perspective grid, you can turn it into whatever you want it to be. So let's say it's kind of truck. Maybe it's inside truck. So on a freeway. Where's my Y? Oh, it's here. And interestingly, it's a very universal idea. It works everywhere. Just look uh, everything like in a sport, right? They're like, yeah, they're like martial arts. It's not about just being very angry and strong kind of. It only like became serious and something like kind of decent thing when it's a combination of like smart discipline approach and all this kind of physical abilities. At least like what I always hear from coach and all this sportmaster stuff, they never actually angry. It's like when they fight, they just like in maybe like calmest state of mind. It's totally opposite, right? They might be like before and after fight, they can be like angry or something, but when they are in a fight, they're like became like very calm and just totally in composure kind of I guess this word, right? It's like a great example, I think it's Fyodor Yemelyanenko, if you know this dude. It's like don't have any emotion. It's kind of crazy. You just okay, let's fight. And this, like, I always remind about interview with Möbius. He say exactly this thing in interview. He say artist don't when he was talking about comic book artist. Like first he say you need to understand artists don't need to be excited. He need to be like absolutely natural kind of. So like you're not really like uh, kind of, because if you're very emotional, it will distract you from your work. So say it's better to be in a very natural state. Which is also interesting, like kind of about inspiration, right? Because like people often think inspiration is this kind of good uh, playful mood when you're like excited and you really want to make something cool and you feel you can do it, when in reality you don't need anything. You need just make sure you can focus on the work. And of course you will feel good, sometimes you will feel great, but if you start to make it something important, it will always hit you kind of. It's kind of a lack of balance. It's like you wrestle, you constantly wrestle with resistance, with this force in your subconsciousness or demons, actual, who want you to give up Just quit drawing, just quit from doing anything good. I just want you be miserable, kind of, right? So you constantly wrestle with it. And if you're getting too emotional, if you something became like too important for you in your work, it's will it means you're out of balance, and your opponent kind of can use it to drop you, right? You're out of balance, you're too stiff, you're kind of like too much serious, right? So you will be like very stiff. That's not good. Yeah. So when I talking about resistance, it's a concept from a book, War of Art. Very good book. Like everybody must to read it. I think it's kind of very important. Very small book, but very important. And everybody who read it, they tell me it's really good, very important information. To, and they happy they read it. So I always recommend. And I think it's like a writer of this book, he's like World War II veteran, something like that. Oh, crazy. Yeah, yeah. Like I have a lot of friends like this, like people, and kind of like I even angry at them for for this at some point, because I kind of like I just don't understand how you can be so much self indulgent. It's like be so much in peace with yourself even when you do nothing in your life, right? And like you need to be like so much careless or like about everything. It's just like so impossible for me right now. Or you're or they're stupid, or they're like lack of any um compassion or something, because like what right now in the world everything is crazy, and I think like, and if you can do anything, then you should do it. Just like, I mean, in every way. Like there's so many like a trash content, trash media, and if you can do something good, something useful, it will be good contribution. Because everything we have, all these computer games, technology, uh, it's it's somebody who make it. Like imagine like everything. Like if you have clean streets, it means there are some people who clean in the streets. There are some people who's like um, maintaining system. So these people who clean streets, they get salary kind of for their work. There is like people who like bake bread, for example, right? So you have bread because somebody baked it. So same with the art, same with everything in our world, because without people making something, it's just a wild jungle. And like if you've been in a jungle, like no, I've been in the forest and I've been in this like South Asia for kind of almost like a jungle, or maybe it was actual jungle. So wild nature, it's like total chaos. You there is no trails, there is no kind of um I don't know how to say. It's like nothing which you can call as a somehow kind of useful space. It's total chaos. It's like branches like that. It's like something crawling, something jumping everywhere, water. Crazy. It's crazy. It's just totally in not useful kind of environment. So and anything we appreciate in our world, in our environment, in our reality, let's say, all this it's exists is not only because somebody made it before. It's keep existing only because somebody keep doing it, and this system need constantly be refilled because people go out or go away, people die, and there should be new people who will like keep doing this stuff. If people will stop doing, like we have end of civilization, right? And then you see like all this new generation who have like very good potential. They can be very prolific, very productive, but instead of doing something, they just like wasting their life playing computer games, like going parties and stuff like that. So this one, I think it's Taiwan. It's look like Taiwan. Yeah, I almost recognize this place. It's so we have here traditional Chinese hieroglyphs, 7-Eleven. Yeah, this is how Taiwan looks. It's very cozy. So we have very simple perspective here. Why it's like this? It's like 1 point perspective. Um, Horizon line. this also this case, like I in the yesterday tutorial was talking about horizon line and a character. So here horizon line, it's like camera level. It's about eye level of this girl. It's eye level of a girl, and it's about golden cut, yeah, about golden ratio. Is kind of this high in the picture. Так, it's like guess about here is the vanishing point. Hmm. Так. So I think it's very interesting. It's kind of um yeah, I mean it's very interesting and it's kind of so obvious. It's just imagine like we have all these people in the media and in entertainment, broadcasting mind or like worldview that nothing have sense. Like my life is meaningless. There is no purpose. There is no God. There is nothing. Nothing have sense. Life is meaningless, and they kind of everywhere. And people had this like eating this content, this like void kind of from their childhood. And I seen it, right? It's like everywhere, all these cartoons, movies, everywhere they feeding people. And now we have generation who grow on these ideas. And this generation, they're like walking around and they're looking, so like, why I don't see any meaning. Nothing have any sense. Like, show me meaning. Like, I need to show you meaning. Like in my generation, like we been like there was like idea that kind of just look around us like everywhere, right? Meaning is everywhere. Kind of just don't be like inert, lazy ass. So I mean, this is really how it works. Like if you teach generation, like I mean, children, there's children. That's why they need education and kind of like upbringing, right? It's like adult people who telling like how world works, and if they're like adults is a bunch of spoiled teenagers who don't believe anything, and all these adults who they know through their work, like in entertainment and media, is same this kind of spoiled teenagers who's just partying on drugs all the time and making this useless kind of void. Okay. Then they grow up with this mindset. This kind of what they have, and it's not kind of like something new. It's not like somebody destroyed meaning and purpose for them. They is like anybody else and anybody for all human history, they need to figure out like you make meaning and you maintain this meaning. This is how it always works, right? So if you want to be like a robot, so somebody just inject meaning in you, yeah, then you're just a robot. But to be a human is to make yourself decision to believe into something, make your own like risk kind of to believe in it and struggle for it, right? Because like if you really believe in something, you will struggle, because sometimes people will be angry for you, sometimes you will need to kind of reject certain things, like you rejecting your friends because they're like being like dragging you down, kind of, and I'm doing the same. Like I have like all these friends who be like you know no, I basically like grow in kind of like Russian ghetto, kind of, when like then I decide I don't want to be like these people like who every night they drink, fight, drink and fight, drink and fight. Like I almost got to police because of them, and then it's like I don't want. It's like it will not end up well, so I just kind of stop to any contacts with them. And then I have other friends. These other friends like very interesting, very creative, but they like I don't know, they're like crazy on drugs. Like they only drugs. Like if you want to talk with them, they always talk about drugs, So it's like no, it's kind of crazy. It's too much. So don't know. Now I just like doing myself everything. Not much friends now. Yeah, see you later. Gen Z. I forget Gen Z is like 2000. Yeah, I'm like I'm from 1986. So, yeah, cool. Yeah. Okay, so back to perspective. Okay. No, I'm from 1986, so it's like little, but generational things kind of I notice is different in the countries. I mean, obviously, right? So like if you look Gen Z in North Korea, it will be totally different type of people. So um, I will draw only girl here, motorcycle here. My generation, like my generation, it's people. It's a very funny generation. It's people who born in the collapse of Soviet Union. So I was born, and I seen how this collapse when it was like. No, I didn't see tanks on the streets myself, but I seen is like in a region how like people been fighting, like I hear like shooting in the nights, like people like being like uh how to say, like loading, like stack of people loading in the trucks, going to uh fields to fight. Maybe they've been like fighting for the streets, kind of wild time. And I seen like how factories and military stations they been dismantled because because government people they just start to sell in everything they can. Like if they have any property, they start to sell it. They be like like sell to China, sell to whatever countries they can. They sell like military equipment, they sell factory equipment, So it's very early childhood. I seen like uh, Air Force training for nuclear war, or for World War III. Like there's paratroopers been jumping from airplanes. In my kindergarten, I was like looking in the sky. They're like every day, they've been like paratroopers, and we have like a siren. This like ooh, stuff kind of um, being on some kind of military not parades. I forget, like air show on a air force base. But then they sold out everything. There's like no helicopters, nothing. I think they just sold out uh, helicopters. So, and this kind of period, it was a lot of entrepreneurs, right? So people like trying to make business, like buy something here, sell there, like go buy something from Europe and sell in the local market. So my generation kind of, we've been like watching all this, and I kind of seen like very bad life, kind of, like poverty, all this stuff, and I seen opportunity. So in this early 2000s, it was like people my generation, when they became like 16, like 18-year old, they, most of them have this mindset, is like you can be entrepreneur, you can be a self-made guy, right? You can not like do everything you want, but if you will be like proactive, you can get what you want, right? You can take it. But then, like when economy was became better, like this Putin period, right? Like Putin, he kind of like um how to say, he just rides this wave. He's like of better economy. So this new generation who have this like better life than in the Soviet Union, than on this uh, late Soviet Union period, they're like kind of get spoiled. So you new generations became very soft, very passive, and then systems start to be very rigid again. So now they are not only soft and passive, they also hopeless kind of, right? Because they see, okay, there is no opportunity. System very rigid. You cannot do honest kind of, like you need to be kind of criminal or in the government, or you need, or is kind of they go into police, all this like bureaucracy. So I think like generation became very disappointed and passive, like in China, in China, uh, so many people just give up, like young generation just gave up. If you are not elite, you just don't have future. No matter what education you have, whatever, you're just slave of system. And not only slave, can be like a waste of system. Yeah. Okay. See you later. And what now in Russia, like I don't have like very, I don't have same kind of clear picture like when I've been living there, but definitely different country from which I've been living in. It's like change, but still, how it always been is crazy place. It's it's crazy place you can't imagine if you've never been there, and people like keep uh, believing in a different fairy tales, like how, because yeah, it's because it's hard to illustrate state of this place, state of Russia. It's surreal. Surreal in the sense kind of a third world country. Yeah. See you later. Okay, so here we have this scene. Can put car. So also it's interesting. So like if she is this tall, then let's make car like this high. So car will be like about her height. Here. Here. Some kind of So basically, like here, again, let's make this chart. Like once you have perspective grid, and if you have this practice of drawing different places with different perspective grid, then you can draw any view. You can just draw any environment with this motorcycle kind of. So let's say this is let's say kind of concept, right? So practice to extract this composition concepts, just like a simple pattern. So like here can be like motorcycle like this, and you can make dude like sitting on motorcycle. He can jump in like somewhere, like maybe this will be like a ground, so you can also switch, right? So same, if here this is horizon line, right, you can use same perspective grid, but instead of this horizon line you make this horizon line. So on an abstract level it's exactly same perspective grid, but now you just little transform it. So here it's x, this is z, and this is your vertical y axis, right? So it's like I show you here. So this now motorcycle is not falling down, it's kind of riding away. So instead of trying to develop from absolute zero, from like totally blank page, you use a reference for some interesting idea, and you can play around with this idea. You can like make a lot of variations with this, and you see like I using this idea as start, but then if I make this picture, which I will use also like motorcycle from a reference, right? It's kind of same angle for motorcycle, and nobody will ever notice from where I take it. It will be like impossible to figure it out unless you kind of show it directly. Same here, right? We have this as a pattern, and then you can make like any environment here, and you can also a little change kind of this. So for example, you can make it like a curved perspective. So now it's kind of same, but more dynamic. So motorcycle will be kind of like this, and girl like standing here. And you can always like put somebody's seat. So it's like in original reference, dude standing here, but here you can like make him sit on motorcycle. So you have like a jacket. Carburetor. Carburetor. Yeah, I have a lot of motorcycle posters, references. Can share in Discord if you need it. This. Let's make leafless trees. Kind of autumn. Так. Some buildings on mother's side. So color, no color shading. this. Hmm. Hmm. Так. Let's see. Yeah, let's this is just some kind of random AI. Just find it on Pinterest. But interesting, good composition, I think. Can use it. Interesting camera angle.
Madness. This is Jane Bond art.
Now let's make one more here. So what is perspective grid here? Так, so we have this motorcycle. Just kind of move up. So these are x axis moving up here. Then horizon line will be about here. Okay. So x axis like this. And then let's see. Z. We can even make vanishing point. Like here will be the vanishing point. Z. And the Y here is kind of vertical. So let's make it vertical. So the vanishing point, x-axis. Так, motorcycle. Kind of. Axis. So you see a perspective grid, shapes, and then you can start to draw elements inside. Because it's AI slope, right? So it's kind of all details there is broken, kind of. So I don't look for, I'm not copying from here, so don't be confused with AI pictures. But what they good sometimes at is this like a sketch idea, right? So treat it as a sketch of idea if it were some kind of very, it's like if you're watching a sketch like this, say, oh, okay, so this kind of proportions, this kind of where this stuff, right? So same here, because this AI, they always make so much like nonsense details, and if you're not kind of expert in a particular subject, it can spoil you. You will think like, oh, it's cool, the element of motorcycle, when it's some kind of nonsense, you know. So don't make like a studies from AI. But if you draw your own motorcycle, just some kind of, you decide to make some random picture kind of yourself, and you just steal some idea from AI picture, because it's not kind of like original idea. It's stolen by AI from somewhere. Так. So as a driver kind of. Subconscious. So here's some kind of freeway. Так. Let's see. About here. Here, let's see. So here make building. So like this, like negative shape. Okay, and let's see one more. Yeah, let's say this. So I just put them together because I think it kind of looks similar. So let's say. So it's kind of grid for this motorcycle here, and kind of like compositions wise, I think sometimes it's like not Atomo, but maybe his assistant draw, because kind of composition look weird, not kind of very interesting, because this building is like it's kind of fallen, right? But x-axis of a building very close to this x-axis, like will be much more in better if make it significantly different, like it's already look better. Let's and let's if we look at this guy. It's very easy. We have on the ground this line. So these are x. Then we have z. So horizon line about here. It's horizon line. Так. So x axis. Then z. Very easy when you have building. So now we have like this angles, right? So it's very easy to find how it goes here. Just build this transition. And the y-axis, obviously, again, is just vertical. So it's kind of 2-point perspective grid. Even there is no point, but
Madness.
perspective grid is like 2 vanishing point perspective. Alright, so we have here horizon line, Z, X, and vertical. So you see this also, all this, it's all the time. It's kind of very multi-level multitasking, because it's kind of your practice perspective. You practice drawing perspective, but also you practice composition, you practice picture making from imagination, because it's like really improves your like imaginative drawing. Because when you draw from imagination, you will need same process, like perspective grids, shapes, and this also like building your visual vocabulary. Like visual vocabulary of just drawing different poses, drawing different objects, like motorcycle, for example, right? And visual library of compositions and situations. So if you have like on some convention, for example, you have request for commission to draw some dude with motorcycle, you can like, okay, I draw this guy like sit on a motorcycle like that. So you can go to this memory, you can go to this picture, even this picture or that picture, this how simple it works. It's just sometimes it might feels like you are forgetting everything you draw, but it's illusion. Actually, you don't forget anything. Everything you draw became your memory. It just depends on a situation, like and your general experience. Because if you draw more, yes, then you will be easier to remember this stuff. And also, it's kind of like your intuition will click much better. So it's like you will have these moments when like, aha, I just, you can even forget you drew it before. It will feels like you just have good idea. So can think of it like secret technique. But this is really how you develop your intuition. Because like you watch, I like these movies like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Not because it's kind of gangster stuff, but because there is the idea about um, professionalism, kind of, right? This guy Vince Gilligan, he kind of have this core idea in his movies about um, it's like it's a great to be master, right? They always have these characters who is a super master expert in a certain field. It's like this Walter White, he's like super expert in chemistry. Then there is a super mastermind in the criminal stuff as this black guy. Then there is super master of kind of how it's called, fixer kind of this guy, old man. Like super manager. And how they show it, it's interesting, like how they show master, like what makes master look master in this show, in this movie. Oh, my chat disappeared. They show master by, oh, chat disappear. I'm still online. Okay, kind of by showing how fluent they are, right? Like how much details about their subject they know. So they have a lot of experience and they're very, very into details. Like there's a lot of scenes showing how sharp focus these people, how they know their job to every tiny detail. Like, for example, I remember this Taco Bell kind of owner. This man, like, he is not only being kind of this how's drug kind of dealer and stuff. He also like super professional owner of a chain of like food chain with this chicken kind of KFC, right? Because he know like everything, like how to work with a stove, how to cook. He can be like a perfect worker on every in like he can do perfect job on every element in his chain and all chain of his work. Like he even can be like a professional killer, like how they show it. So, and when they show this like professionals perform, like when they do something, right? So we see a lot things they're doing like fluently, like very intuitive, like in the zone, like this. Yeah. And this intuition, this fluency, this kind of jazz kind of state of mm, jazz improvisation kind of, right? It's a result of a conscious practice when you been training and develop skills, develop habits. So your repetitive actions is not random, uh, mindless stuff. It's very specific, very efficient. Um, Kind of like everything makes sense, right? So you break down every move, you practice, you train every move, and then it became your natural move. It became your normal state, right? And there's all this terminology like default mode, right? So you basically you feed in your subconsciousness, you feed in, you build in your default mode. So if in the beginning when you're like amateur your default mode is very weak, kind of. It doesn't have much insight. It's like empty barrel. But then you feel it, you develop, you enrich it, and then your default mode is it's a machine, it's like very, very strong, very sophisticated machine which is work like a clock. That's already try it. And it look like a magic. It start to look like it's happen absolutely effortlessly, and it really effortless, but it doesn't mean it's being achieved effortlessly. No, it's being built very disciplined, very like it's very a lot of hard work, but in result you will have this very efficient automotive, like efficient kind of like require less effort, right? Less concentration, less effort, less energy, kind of, let's say. But then you will have harder challenges because challenges, it's fun, right? At first, like everything is challenge because you don't know anything, but then of kind of high level achievement for you became like a default, and then you won like some really remarkable results, and this remarkable results is your new challenge. So it's always something to make you busy and make you nervous if you looking for. You can look for it, but I think it's a mistake to run from it. Because if you run from it, or you run from hard work, then never will have any decent level. All these people who think drawing art kind of it just should be fun and easy, as they never even started to draw. So, points through here. It's like cooler, cooler, cooler. It's kind of weird. You have shirt here. So let's change this guy. Stack. And where is he? Let's change this wall to something more fun. Let's some kind of hue. So he's on the edge. Here's some trash. And there it's like we see mega city. Some flying vehicles. Let's make some cyberpunk soundtrack. Where's music? Oh, here. Right. Yeah, no need to be sorry. No problems. I don't. You worry too much. Don't worry. We just been talking, and I think it was interesting talk. Yeah, we was talking about talent. I don't remember. It was some problems there. It wasn't any problem. Just conversation. So you kind of you imagine something. Yeah, don't need to worry about this. Girl, don't know what girl. Так. Don't know. Like today there was no girls with the pink hair. Some I don't understand. Так. Wait. Anyway, like main discussion about talent, it's that is not important even because everybody, like we can compare like somebody how much they have talent, right? Like you might consider yourself not talented, but if we compare you to someone else, you might turn out to be like much more talented than this person. So it's like this thing is very um, relative. It's not exist like some definite thing. It's relative, it's subjective. We can like people can wrestle with definition, like what they mean by talent. What so actually it always will be what exactly you want you mean when you say talent, right? So then you speak about very specific characteristics, then you speak about very specific subject, kind of, right? So this is kind of main issue with the discussion, kind of talent discussion. It's kind of not really make much sense, and that's why it's just talk in a way that instead of believe in talent and consider talent like something important, better consider something which is practical, because you have talent or you don't have talent anyway. It's about what will you do, like will you work or not, do you have work ethic or like do you have good work ethic or you not have, because this what will define your actual results, your actual improvement. This is a main um, kind of this is main thing actually, like for everyone. Like there is a lot of talented people who have horrible work ethic, or they never do anything at all, you know. They kind of like been maybe drawing in a childhood, and everybody was talking about them like they're being like superstar in the school, but then they never draw again. or draw in the artist, and there is other guy who is less talented, but he was been like he decided he want to become professional artist, so and he work on it, he became professional artist. It's most of stuff is like that. People who achieve something, who get to high level uh, skills, they achieve it not because of talent. Talent is just what is present. It's like, say, like if you a runner, like no, like Olympic gold medal runner, right? Your your talent, it's legs, you know. it's, let's say, I mean, like I make it like exaggerate an example, like specific, because like then you can discuss like everybody have legs, but not everybody have long and strong and specific exact legs which will make you champion, right? But my point here, in the art, for artists, this how much minimum talent you need. In an artist, you just need to have legs. That's it. So you just need to be sane, like smart enough to understand like basic principles like perspective and stuff. Like you don't need to be genius, just kind of like average civilized person, kind of, right? From civilized world, not some wild savage. And you need hands or something you can use for drawing. That's it. This is your talent. Because somebody, he just don't have physical abilities to draw. So you can say, okay, he don't have talent. He don't have what it needs, what it requires. So uh, this is how I consider talent, and it's not like kind of only way to see it this. Так, okay. So I think it's kind of it for today. Yeah, let me know something what you think in the comments, and we'll appreciate if you share video, like help YouTube to show them more, and there will be more very cool tutorials. Now I finish in books, so it's still kind of same tutorials, uh, not kind of extreme change here, but I plan very new, very special tutorials. They will be appear soon. So see you later.
Madness. This is Jane Bond